Hello everyone, good day from wherever you're watching all over the world. We're so glad to be here. My name is Boluwatiwi Odufuye, and beside me is my beautiful wife, Omotoyosi Odufuye, and we're here. Yeah, so let's start with where we were. Wow. I think that I would say that our marriage came about through a cesarean session, like I normally tell people. It was not normal, but because the circumstance that surrounded when we're getting married and all of that was a very funny, very emotional and interesting one. But you know, in the first year of our marriage, it was very messy. We kept on clashing. We had issues upon issues.
But it got to a point where family members had to intervene, and it was very messy. You know, I'm a leader in my space. He is also a leader, and I at that point, our egos were clashing. You know, so we were not able to manage it at some point, but.
It was very messy. Speaking about ego, you know, I remember back then I used to tell my wife, I say, you're a very good leader, but you're a bad follower. You know, we had different concepts, you know, as to what leadership and followership should be in marriage, how we should be partners and all of that. So it kept on giving us issues. Then I think one of the mistakes we also made was that at the very early stage we involved too many people. Friends, families, and all of that, and it got really. We've had situations where friends were very interesting, you know, and also family members. Family members had to intervene. Had our pastors, our parents,
our mentors.
We became a case. If I got to a point, we became a special prayer where we were in a very, very bad place.
Very bad. Right.
Come to think of it, firstborn daughter, firstborn son, leader. It was very messy, very interesting, but all thanks to God. You know, we had issues to the point where we normally tell people today, especially young couples, we tell them, said, if the issues that we had did not break us, there's nothing else that can break us. And it's not like we're exaggerating. We understand the fact that
we are not perfect. Not that we are not perfect, but
absolutely not. You know, we understand the fact that, like some people will say, they had a level, they had devils. You know, every stage in marriage has its own unique challenges, but the ones that we have seen. We're going on our third year now. The ones that we have seen, if it did not break us, at all, forget it. It won't break us. So there was a very day we had a very serious fight, and you don't want to know what it looked like.
I had no choice. I had to call Pastor Shio. At that point, I joined the church, and I became like his younger sister because I loved him so. I love him. Not that I love him so much. I still love him. So he took me as a sister, and I put a call through to him, and I told him everything that was happening then, and he invited us to his house, and we had a very, very long talk. In fact, in his presence, it was still messy.
It was still very messy. And I'm sure Pastor Shio must have been disappointed.
What are you doing?
We kept on arguing and all of that. I remember I got to a point, in that meeting, where it felt like, okay, everything was settling. Then I got angry again. I said, he wants to go.
Yeah, so that was when he has to go.
I remember saying that if she wants to go, she should go. I'm not even interested again. Blah, 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 blah. You know, and I think it was at that point that Pastor Shio knew that these people
if I don't come in.
Yeah. So I think that particular issue, you know, got resolved a bit, not entirely, because I still had something in my mind. I still wanted to clear.
And he's the kind of person that if he has any issue with someone and he has not expressed himself, he has not said anything, it will still be in his heart until
we're able to sit down and talk it out and all of that. So it felt like, you know, the storm was still, but it was still raging, you know, not like, you know, but it was still raging a little bit. And then Pastor Shim decided to say that, okay, you guys, I want to gift you something very important. And I remember specifically that he told us how much it charges.
So like, we're using this video to say thank you so much, Pastor Shim.
Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Yeah. So we're talking about some of the things that happened during the course and how it shaped us.
So during the course, we had a 12-week long course, and we're very intentional because it was a big deal for us. We always, I think we had it around like 7 to 8 or 8:30.
Yeah, it was always in the evening.
Sometimes maybe till 9. So it was a big thing for us, and again, all thanks to Pastor Shio for giving us that time, out of his time. Yes.
But it got to points where, you know, me, I was feeling, why don't you use 12 weeks? Our problem is that much. But you know, it was a very interesting, you know, time, and there were many tools that he used, you know, to help us understand a lot of things. I remember the tree of life where we identified possible traumas from the past,
and my love. a lot of people, that course really helped
See,
us.
she's calling me my love. But she's my love.
So I realized that some of us, we have a lot of baggages from our past, and we still carry it on to this present relationship that we have, or maybe our marriage, and this will affect you no matter what. So these are one of the things that we learned during the course, and watch out for that too.
Yeah, I remember a particular session where Pastor Sean treated the trauma, where we're asked to take an exercise, write down a couple of things.
And you have to do it.
Yeah, and my wife was crying. For me, I think that I remember very well that during that trauma session, there was not really much of trauma for me, even though for me it was not really about my traumas and all that. It was more about what was happening now. I want to settle scores now. That's what I felt before. But eventually I got to realize that some of the ways that we behave, some of the things we do as a result of the baggages that we have brought from before we got married, from our tender age, growing up, teenage, and all of that into
because you won't pick it from the surface. It's going to start from the foundation.
Yeah. And if there's anything anybody needs to know is, by the time you get into that part of the training, please pay attention, because there are several things that you don't even know that is traumatic, that's traumatizing you, that you get to discover.
We
also talked about the Oyala personality test.
Oh my God.
Where we get to know about each other's personality. So before then, for me, growing up, I've always been a reader. I read books, books on temperament, why you act the way you do, writing like and all of that. Growing up as a teenager, we used to listen to Bishop David Oyedepo and a lot of people, and how they say that you have to read books. So I was virtually a reader. In fact, then I used to read one book every month. So in a year, I must have read 12 books, and I feel like I read a lot about marriage. I felt like I've read a lot, and I served in certain capacities that I thought I knew, when it's very tricky. It's not like you don't know, but it's different from knowing. There's a difference between knowing and when it's time to put what you have known into practice. So you know that a man should do this, a woman should do this, a woman should do that, a man should do that. But now you are in that field, you are now a player, it's now time for you to do it, and it becomes an issue. We also spoke about the belief assessments, and this one is very interesting because I realized that when we're doing this, some of our belief systems were not aligning
at all, because you have to score yourselves.
I remember one in particular where we're asked about who should be, I think it was around being the breadwinner in the home and all of that. It was around finance. I can't remember precisely what it was. It was around finance, and I tipped that anybody. But my wife said that I should be, and these were conversations we had before we got married, but all of a sudden now we are here and we realize that how come we have differences in all of these? And we also spoke about family visions, our value systems, and all of that.
But to the littlest, like maybe cooking, cleaning the house, you talk about everything. For anybody now, but I'm sure that whatever structure is being put in place,
you will definitely find value in this course. We are a product of these classes, these lessons, and we are proud.
We're proud.
It got very messy. At some point, we even still had fights after the course.
But it got better.
Yeah, it got better, and yes, that takes us to where we are now. Yeah. So let's talk about where we are now. Oh Jesus.
Ayomi, I told him something. Was it last week Wednesday? I said, Ayomi, I think, not even think, I'm beginning to enjoy our marriage.
Yeah.
And he smiled. That was a big deal for us. That was what we were looking forward to. And this year we are clocking 3 years in September.
Yeah, 3 solid years. In fact, we should have written a book on marriage in our third month.
It was that bad. But I'm glad that we are here. We are not perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've moved from 5% to 75%. I'll say that.
Absolutely. I must say that anyone who comes across this training, is blessed already.
Yeah, and we did something in January. We did like an evaluation test.
Yeah.
Where we asked ourselves questions. What am I doing? What am I doing that you love most? What are you things?
These are some of the things that we picked up from the class.
From the class. So it's going to, this course is not just a one-time course, but a lifetime course that will help and change your marriage, your life.
Pastor Sean, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Baba Mi.
Even though we still
I'm sure he's going to laugh.
Even though
okay.
One of these days we just say, Pastor, I want you and Mama to come to Spain.
Yeah,
just for the next 2 weeks and all that. We're getting there. We're going there.
On us, bills on us.
Yeah, bills on us. Fully funded trips. So like.
Of course, and you always say something that I should. You cut this place, so I want to remember. Thomas of Mary to his open. I should listen more. Yeah, converse on it.
Yeah, I will not cut it. I will leave it. We love you, sir.
We love you.
I love my wife.
Please share this with anybody that would love to. Your husband cannot. If you clean it.